Well, hello, friends. This was recorded a couple months ago, and I finally got the editing figured out on it. It was just one of those bear of a jobs that didn't go right, but it was fun because I haven't seen some of this stuff in a while. It's like, where's that? Oh, that's sold. So I hope you enjoy this too. So let's get started.
Good morning, friends. It's Julie Norman, and you guessed it, today we're going on another adventure. I've got 4 or 5 different estate sales I'd like to go to in the Billings area, and come along with me and see what bargains we can find. Along the way, I'm going to talk about some tips for going to estate sales. Now, one thing is some people like to get there right on time, and or early, because then you get the best bargains. But here it is. What time is it? It is the time that the estate sales start right now, and it takes me 45 minutes to get there. So obviously I'm not going to be on time, but I'm not stressed because there are a group of people who always line up at estate sales. And unless you really want that 1 or 2 item that you see in the pictures or the preview information, there's no need really to go there. You can say it gets picked over really fast. Well, it might, and if you're really looking to cherry pick things, then don't take my advice. But I am really okay with going on the second day of estate sales when they have half price. And you'll be surprised what you can find and what you would like, because it's all half price. And a lot of times buried underneath all the top cherry pick stuff are things that are treasures that people didn't see on the first day, first hours, because they were buried underneath everything else. So there's my first tip, is to don't worry if you don't get there right on time. So let's get going, and I'll tell you a little bit more. So I'm coming up on a garage sale. I know that I said I had some estate sales to go to, but there was this one that said it had fabric and yarn, and it had Vera Bradley bags in the image, and I really like Vera Bradley bags, even though I don't carry one right now. But the address that Google took me to didn't quite pan out, so I'm going to the only other sale on this block, and it looks like this is the right one. So yeah, I see Vera Bradley. All right, let's go in. All right, I feel kind of self-conscious about videotaping at garage sales, but I just got a whole bunch of Vera Bradley bags, including this black one. So the big ones were 15, the small ones were 8. I got a couple of these quilting things. Moda, I used to be really into quilts. So that was a good haul, and those I will probably resell, either in the booth or online, either on eBay or Poshmark. Here, I'm going to just put my mileage down. Where am I? So I'm going to head off to my next sale, and then I'm going to share with you another tip. All right, we've arrived at the first real estate sale of the day, and this one is actually put on by a company, and they help seniors and other people get their estates cleaned out. And the tip I want to share with you is always bring a bag. This is my Vera Bradley tote bag. It's one of the big ones. And because you're going around at these estate sales and your arms get full, and so you're going through rooms, upstairs, downstairs, and I bring a little bit of bubble wrap too, just because if you get a fragile item, you don't want that rattling around. So let's get going. Well, that went really well. And I've got a bag full of stuff. The treasures of the day was this 2-volume set. They are Julia Child, Joy of Cooking, excuse me, and they were $1 each. I can't believe that they were still there. So that's what I mean by not having to go right away. I just picked up a magazine or two because they're like a quarter. I don't know if that's worth anything, but it looks like a signature. Just picked up a few random bits of paper, and this is a pack. This is something I would love to pick up on half price day, but tomorrow I'm going to an auction, so I won't be able to go. Look at, he's so cute. So there we go. That's our first sale. Now on to the next.
Turn left onto Broadwater Avenue, then turn right onto Luther Circle.
So this next tip is if you have several sales that you're interested in and you map it out the day before, it goes a lot more smoothly. And I go to Google Maps and I put in all the addresses and I map my route so that I don't backtrack, because in the town of Billings, it's the largest town in Montana, you can really cover a lot of ground if you're not careful. And when
turn right onto Luther Circle, then your destination will be on the right.
And when you are paying for the gas and everything yourself, you might as well do it so it's not too expensive. Here we are at our next sale.
The destination is on the right.
Yes, thank you, helpful lady. Yes, here we are at our next destination. Let's go at this guy. Good Charles Russell. I think I'm putting him in my back seat. And then I've got a bag full of stuff here. A bunch of paper goods, some interesting things, and this is, I'll show you that later. Oops, can you actually see what I'm showing you? I'll show you this later. Okay, so that was a nice estate garage sale. They're moving. They didn't have a lot of like the old stuff, but they had some interesting things. That there is a print by Charles and Russell, which is a famous painter in Montana. They're donating everything to St. Jude's. So let's get on to the next one. We're pulling up on the next estate sale. This one is another that is professional, or at least they hired out the people to do this estate sale. And there it is, but parking. But, so there's a couple kinds of estate sales. And, okay, there's probably more than a couple. And one kind is like this, where they are put out, they hire a company to come and do it for them. And generally, if you go to one of those, they are going to be more high priced, but they're also going to be a lot better organized too. And they'll be better advertised, and you know for sure that then on Saturday or whatever, at a certain time, things will be half price. So there are pluses and minuses to going to these. I prefer to go to these on half price days, but because I am doing an auction tomorrow, I don't have, excuse me, just parking. I don't have that option. So generally, this kind of, the estate sales, there's two major ones in the Billings area that are hired out to do these things. And then the other kind of estate sales are when individuals or families decide to do it themselves. And that is kind of like, I like their treasure trove, and the prices are lower because they don't have to hire people. They're just trying to get rid of stuff. And those are good estate sales too. So let's get going to this one.
Oh, this is the lady who brought back my notebook.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
Saved my life.
The funny thing is, like, how did she get my number? Small world.
Oh my gosh, I was so happy to see you pull up.
Yeah, I just been at another garage sale, so.
But you don't have anything.
so that went well. I think I probably got a little bit more than I should have, but there was some really good paper stuff, and so here's what I mean. It is noon, and there is still a lot of this kind of stuff that I like to get. So there was still Pyrex there, because I know they advertise Pyrex, and so you don't really have to go right away unless you are really, really competitive and want the very, very best all the time. But you might miss stuff, because that's just the way it goes. I mean, who can look at everything and know everything about stuff? And there were quite a few downstairs. There was so much sheet music, and I was so tempted to get some, but I just had used a lot up. Sheet music is really easy to come by, so I don't really need to store that right now. So there's some hard decisions there too, but the prices were pretty good. I would prefer half price, but it is the first day of the sale. So I have one more sale that I wanted to go to, and after that, I'm just going to be done. I was thinking I could scoop in on some regular garage sales, but it is heating up. Oh, it's not that bad. It's 72 degrees. I'm feeling warm because I've been walking around carrying stuff. I'm going to be tired when I get home. Living life with chronic illness. So we'll go to one more, and then I have to pick up some lunch and groceries. All right, we're at a long stoplight. So another tip for you is to bring lots of cash, and bring more cash than you think you need, unless you are in a strict budget. And also you could bring a checkbook, because a lot of times they'll take checks and not be able to take credit cards. Even at that estate sale, they took checks, no credit cards, and cash. So there is a tip for you. Okay, here we go. Another one, estate sale. This is by, it's not by a company, it is by, it looks like an individual. So let's go in and I'll go in and see what I can find. I don't know if I'll videotape, because we'll see. So if you have any tips for estate sales and garage sale and such, let me know below, or just drop your comments below, and you can help each other out on getting tips, because I know that I probably didn't list them all. They're just all ones that I follow, and not necessarily someone else's list. Okay, that was a good sale. They basically, their parents, her mom had passed away, and so she was getting rid of everything in the basement. I should have videotaped it, but she was talking to me, and it felt weird about videotaping. But it was like out of a page of mid-century modern retro stuff. It was like a time capsule. All the furniture, the panel lining. They even had like an old fridge and freezer. It looked like it was a time capsule. But I had a whole bunch of books for 50 cents, and they were old books. They were her mom's textbooks. So some of them were on like dictation, and some of them were on shorthand. So there's really kind of interesting pages in there. So I will always check to make sure they're not like somebody's looking for them before I would tear them up for scrap. But they are kind of interesting books, so I would kind of hate to tear them up if I didn't need to. So whatever. So I'm done with garage sailing for today. I'm not going to show you all of my hauls, because I think you saw it as we went, and there's a whole carload for it full of stuff. But in the future, if you want me to go through everything that I get, just let me know, and I will do that for you. Otherwise, it's just too much work right now. So thank you for coming along on my journey today, and I hope you enjoyed this little adventure and a few tips about going to estate sales. So thank you so much, and have a joyful day. Goodbye.